Hello, welcome to the online course on Urbanization and Inclusive Economic Growth in Africa, which is run by the United Nations African Institute for Economic Development and Planning. My name is Dr. Abdelam Abarrayemeru, and I am leading the Urbanization and Development section at the United Nations Economic Commission for Africa. As you know, urbanization is one of the most critical shifts and transition that Africa is undergoing in the 21st century. Indeed, today, urbanization is recognized as a key factor for sustainable development globally and in Africa. This course focuses on the role of Africa's rapid urban growth in accelerating progress towards inclusive economic growth in the region. The background and rationale for the course derives from the pace, scale, and impact of the urbanization process in Africa. Urbanization is a megatrend with profound implications for Africa's growth and transformation. Although the continent has only 44% of its population as being urban today, in just another 15 years, by 2035, half of Africa's population will be living in cities and other urban areas. Africa also has the highest urban growth rate in the world. Between 1995 and 2015, over a period of 20 years, Africa's urban population doubled. It will double again by 2035. Today, almost 600 million Africans live in cities and urban areas. And by 2050, 1.3 billion Africans will be living in cities. This urban transition and shift is taking place at the same time as the continent is undergoing a demographic shift and a growing youth population, which is becoming increasingly urban. The rapid urban growth that Africa is experiencing presents considerable demands for employment, services, and infrastructure, but also it creates opportunities for economic growth and structural transformation. We know from historical and empirical evidence that urbanization and economic growth are closely associated. Cities, through the agglomeration economies that they create, make workers and firms productive, and they also drive growth. Although urbanization is a necessary condition for structural transformation, it is not sufficient. The quality of cities can either facilitate the growth of the productive sectors of the economy or constrain their expansion. The quality of cities depends on the type of institutions, the infrastructure and spatial layout that we have in our cities. It is therefore critical to plan and manage cities in a manner that optimizes their potential to drive growth and transformation. Despite the importance of cities for Africa's inclusive economic growth, today there are many disconnections between spatial and economic planning. For example, the links between urbanization and industrialization have generally been weak. Africa is undergoing a rapid urban growth, while its manufacturing output is low and sometimes declining. So there is an urgent need to connect urban and industrial development given their interdependence and growth impacts. Currently, African national development plans largely see urban issues as a sectoral issue, with a limited role in economic transformation and industrialization. Rapid urbanization could be a powerful asset for Africa's economic growth, provided that it is harnessed through a strategic cross-sectoral policy framework in the context of national development planning. It is important to have a cross-sectoral strategic approach to link urbanization and inclusive economic growth in national development planning. Through this course, you will gain a better understanding of these key issues and dynamics and how to harness the potential of urbanization through national development and economic sector plans and policies. Course has 7 modules. One will focus on the key concepts, trends, and conditions of urbanization in Africa. In this module, you will be provided an overview of the pace and scale of urbanization and its connections to economic development, demographic transitions, and environmental trajectories. Module 2 focuses on urbanization and structural transformation in Africa. It considers in detail the linkages between urbanization and inclusive economic growth, focusing on the experience of African countries with economic structural transformation. The third module focuses on economic sector targeting to leverage the potential of urbanization. This module emphasizes the importance of productive urban jobs for national economic growth and inclusive development, and also discusses the policy approaches to target sectors that will create such jobs. The fourth module focuses on productive national urban systems and their role in driving economic growth. This module focuses on the economic role and functions of cities within the national urban system and the need for spatial targeting of investments and infrastructure based on the advantages offered by cities in the national urban system. Module 5 focuses on productive cities for economic growth. This module looks at the key characteristics of productive cities and the benefits that they offer to firms, including through institutions, infrastructure, spatial design, and layout. Module 6 looks at the financial policies necessary to leverage urbanization. In this module, the role of cities in public finance will be examined in detail, including the prioritization of investment selection, of financing instruments, and revenue generation. The module explores options for broadening the urban revenue base, even in the presence of large informal sector activities. Module 7 focuses on integrating urbanization in national development planning. This module provides a detailed step-by-step guidance on how to integrate urbanization in national development planning and industrial policy so that it becomes a driver of growth and transformation. In terms of the approach taken in the course, some of the key elements are as follows. For each module, detailed lesson materials will be provided. Also, additional readings and case studies will be shared for each module. There will also be an interactive activity per module. Every module will end with a quiz, and the course will also have a final assessment to create an action plan on applying the course in your respective countries, organizations, and areas of work. By the end of the course, you will be able to identify the key characteristics of Africa's urbanization and how it impacts economic transformation. You will also have a better understanding of the policy actions required to take advantage of Africa's urban growth for job creation and manufacturing. In addition, you will be able to identify and discuss the main barriers constraining the productivity of Africa's cities and the measures needed to address those barriers. You will also be able to understand the national urban system and its role in enabling industrialization and economic diversification. In addition, you will better appreciate the potential of Africa's cities to boost domestic resource mobilization. Finally, you will have the skills and knowledge to integrate and link urbanization with national development planning and economic policies for transformation. It is our hope that this course will be of value and direct application and relevance in your respective areas of work and institutions. We look forward to the engagement and to welcoming you to the course. Thank you.